Everybody, today I got something special for everybody. We're going to talk about these upcoming elections, but I have some special guests with me, some very, very special guests with me. And we had originally called ourselves the Astro Geeks, and we had first predicted Trump's win back in, what was it, y'all? What year was that? Shit, it felt like 20 years ago. When did we predict that? 2017?
I think it was 2016. Yeah.
2016. So back in 2016, we were on it. Man, I remember fumbling with my notes that night, being mad because I was late. It was just so much going on, but it was, like I said, a powerful thing that lasted, and we were right. We were correct. Today, we're going to look at the two candidates that are up, Mr. Joe Biden, okay, and then Trump, Donald J. Trump. And then we also, thanks to Karina, had the idea to bring in Kamala. Let's bring in Miss Kamala Harris. Y'all call her Camilla or Kamala?
I think it's Kamala.
It's Kamala for real, for real?
I'm not sure.
I pretty much just heard Kamala.
Kamala, right? What you call her, April? You say Kamala?
Yeah, I've heard her name as Kamala, so...
At first, I was reading this Camilla. I said, oh, shoot, Camilla. Okay. Anyway. So we're going to start off with Kamala Harris, right? We're looking at her chart. And, we're going to just say what's on our mind. What do we see? I also want to talk about that day as well, y'all. I don't know if y'all pulled up the chart for that day. But what I did was I took notes on who they were. Individually by looking at the natal. And then I looked at transits for that day, and I was kind of tripping like, oh my God, what is really going on? So it's going to be interesting. So let's just go around the round table. I'll go last because I've been running my mouth a lot. So I'm going to go last, but let's start like in the same order with April again. Cosmic Homegirl. What is the first thing that I guess came up to you looking at Kamala's chart?
Looking at her natal chart alone, the first thing that stood out to me was that, I'm looking at only their transits. I'm not looking at anything to do with anyone's personality or anything like that.
Okay.
It's whether or not the astrological transits point to them having an advantage when it comes to winning the election. That's all I looked at, and what I see is that she is in the middle of a nodal return. Now, I looked at Astro Theme. They claim
Trump too. Okay, let me stop. Okay, keep going.
Yes, both of them. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So
okay.
I looked at Astro Theme, and they claim that she's a Gemini rising. They claim they have her birth time from her birth certificate. So that's what I'm rocking with. Okay. And if that is actually accurate, she's in
Give me that time real quick that you got.
Let me look at it. I'm pulling it up right now, but if it is correct, then she is she's a Gemini rising, and her north node is on the ascendant. So I'm looking at the fact that she's in a nodal return. I feel like whoever's in their nodal return, their lives are going to change
drastically.
Yeah, and it could either be it's the end of an old era and the beginning of a new era for these people. They have her born at 9:28 p.m. on Astro Theme, and they say that it's from her birth certificate. So,
oh wow,
I'm still a little sketchy when they say that, but it's like, okay. Well,
unless it's the doctor that pulled the baby out, I don't trust you.
Right.
Okay.
We'll work with it, and it's hypothetical still to me, but whatever.
I'm going to use your time. I put your time in my system. So Gemini, what you next? What do you think? What's the first thing that came up to you with Kamala?
Well, so I just wanted to say, like, just for anybody out there, always question these birth times.
Mm-hmm.
Don't just believe it, because I don't know. Like you said, no one really knows. So what I like to do a lot of times for public figures, I feel like even if you use their solar chart, putting the sun at the ascendant, you can still gauge a large portion of information about them because it reflects their outer personality. And ultimately, that's what we all see.
Yes. Thank you.
Word. So I noticed a couple of things. One thing I noticed about all the candidates here, they're all full moon babies. And to me, that's always speaks of being able to do it big and manifest things. So with Kamala, I noticed here that she's a Libra sun with an Aries moon. So for me, Libra corresponds directly with politics. It's the diplomat. It is the peacemaker. So seeing that in opposition to the Aries moon and her actually being a woman, it actually makes sense that she is getting this opportunity, whereas Hillary got her opportunity, but I just feel like it's a little bit of a different energy with Kamala being this full moon baby Libra. Libras tend to be likable, even if you don't agree with some of the things she stands for.
Extremely agreeable person. Yeah.
Right. You still kind of, she has some likability. So that was one of the first things that stood out to me. I always look at it in the sense of like trying to gauge the personality or like how this person would be. So first and foremost is someone who is highly aware of others. The opposition with her being an Aries moon, I feel like makes that more prominent in her life. So Libras can tend to try to be people pleasers. I just feel like in her scenario, her ego is contained to some extent. So in the realm of politics, I feel like it's good. It works well. So I kind of saw like some things I saw just in terms of observing her energy. But yeah.
Excellent. Excellent. Karina, what's up, girl? What you thinking?
Well, I like what everybody said. I definitely agree that if this Gemini rising is accurate, the North Node being right on her ascendant speaks a lot about this is a time for her to be in the public eye and to be introduced in the public eye in a very polarizing way. And I think that she already did that in the debates for the Democratic debates, in which she had actually like called out Joe Biden and was like kind of like his antagonist like at first. So I thought it was interesting that she was his choice. But I think there's a lot going on behind the scenes, with Mercury in Scorpio.
I was just going to go there.
Yeah. It feels very strategic, right? Like that Mercury is like, there's a lot that maybe could have even been planned. That's clearly speculation, but I just feel like also touching on her Aries moon, that she likes the fight, she likes the competition, she likes to move with a rigor, like to move very quickly, and I think that she is a great candidate with Joe Biden because she will bring out more of that fight, which I feel will be really powerful. So that's my take on Kamala so far.
I love it. Okay, so coming back to me, the first couple things I noticed was, for sure, that's so funny, that's the first thing that April said, was that North Node conjunction, because that stood out like, whoa. It's like, wow, this woman is really taking a skyrocket. And even more so, now with that time that you gave me, it validates this for me, at least, because she's got that Uranus in her 11th house, the people that she's connecting to. She's connecting to some weird folks at the same time, but like, she's making some really strong connections that could reverse her, because Uranus is about sudden reversals too. So that could catapult her to her hopes, dreams, whatever, in the 11th house on a simple plane. And another thing that I love that Karina had mentioned was when she was talking about that Mercury in Scorpio. Now, the thing about it, the strategy, this is an extreme diplomat here. This woman, I think she is a professional at knowing how to appease both sides. It's almost like, she's a master at it, and a master at knowing what to say, what not to say, and what secrets to keep. This is a professional secret keeper as well. Now, this is not good nor bad, the ability to keep secrets. People can take that for what they want to take it. But, I even noticed that Mercury and Scorpio, y'all, I don't know what's up with politicians in Mercury and Scorpio, because Biden, I think, even had Mercury and Scorpio. And didn't Hillary? Hillary had Mercury and Scorpio. Did y'all see that?
Correct.
Yeah, so I don't know what that is. You guys can draw your own conclusions. What else did I see? And I was actually a little surprised when I saw her. So I was like, oh, she's probably real nice to hang out with. I'm just saying, y'all, on a side note, she seems like she would be a very pleasant person with, like I said, with all that Libra on that end. But as far as the day of election, with that time frame, she's got a packed 8th house of others, okay, and what you're receiving from others. So, and it's Jupiter is there, Pluto is there, power could be there. So receiving from others, she's partnering with Joe Biden. That's pretty much where I want to leave it there with Kamala. We can bring everything all together.
Can I put something in?
Please, yeah.
She's experiencing Jupiter trying Jupiter as well, because she's a Jupiter in Taurus.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a really good aspect to have. Like other candidates have some Sun Jupiter aspects, but Jupiter trying Jupiter, I feel like is like really strong. But also, I just want to say something else with her too. So with her being a Libra sun, and then the depositor of her sun being in Venus, being in Virgo, and then this stellium. Yeah, this is the time. She was bound to come into some type of bigger authority.
Yeah, she's getting that hookup.
Right. Because others have said like other candidates might have been better, but I just think this is where it comes to her actual energy. And I would just add that I like it in the sense of it being connected to Virgo, because Virgo's kind of like a selfless energy. It's a service oriented.
True.
So where we look at with Donald, it can be very ego driven and all of that. But just looking at,
she's not about her ego, no.
Yeah, like
she's
she's in it for the work to really
serve,
the change and all that. Yeah. So
sorry. You just get me excited because you're hitting it. Also, another thing I see about that day, she gonna be sounding real good, y'all. At least for around that time period, Mercury is getting close to her Mercury, her Venus. Sorry, her Venus is getting close to her Mercury and her Sun. Neptune is even about to. Mercury is also about to hit Neptune. I feel like she's gonna be on point, just with herself. That period, around that period. But I also needed to look at the day of debates. Anybody else have anything they want to pop in and add before we move on?
Yeah, excuse me. Mercury will be going direct on that day from being retrograde in Libra, and it'll be in a conjunction with her natal sun. Right. And be direct. So I think that's an advantage there. But also another thing that I noticed with her is that looking forward, like looking ahead at the next few years, if she was elected, it would be her Saturn return also, because she's Saturn in Aquarius.
Oh shit.
Yeah. And that can be a make or break time, but it could be a time of great responsibility. And I look at presidency, like Saturn is associated with it, is one of the things associated with presidency. So with it being her Saturn return, that also makes me like, and then plus the fact that we're going to have Saturn and Jupiter in Aquarius, and then we're eventually going to have Pluto in Aquarius in the next couple of years. And everybody is, like with all the Aquarius energy happening, everybody wants something different now. Like, that's what Aquarius energy is about. It's about being revolutionary, and it would be revolutionary to have a woman president.
So, and Karina, do you have anything you want to throw on here?
I know we're going to get to the date, but because that Mercury is in Scorpio and it's going to be coming off of a retrograde, I just feel like the entire presidential race is going to be,
a shit show.
Not what we know. Pluto and Virgo generation, right? I feel like they work really well in being service oriented, but at the same time, that Plutonian energy in this generation sometimes can play innocent way more than people realize, and so people can be almost like swayed to their position before they really see the big picture in things. So I feel like there's a lot, especially with Libra sun, you know, like there's a lot here that in my, like in the overall thing, I would say is that there's a lot that is not being seen. And there's a lot about Kamala that is not as innocent and as it may appear. Like,
I also have this on podcast on Spotify, Anchor FM, Google Play, I believe as well too. Okay, so I just wanted to let you know that if you're digging this, make sure you check the rest out on this podcast. Okay, that was getting hot, Karina, because you was hitting on some spots. You was hitting on some spots. I agree, and I was feeling that when I saw when I saw the Libra energy. And I saw that next to that Mercury and Scorpio, and there's also a trine with Saturn now. She gets a lot from that. She's able to gain a lot from her ability to be agreeable and to keep secrets. Okay, for the people, her friends. Remember that it's opposing, that Mercury's opposing the moon that's in her 11th house. So this is keeping secrets for the people, the groups that she belongs to, right? And that moon is slightly... Okay, let's move on. We're gonna move on.
Hold on, let me just say one thing.
What's up?
You can't put anything past anyone, and I don't think any politicians are innocent or whatever. But when you just look at when we're just looking at the energy, right? Because I'm looking at it in the sense of like, all right, these are like leaders, right? What are leaders of people? I will say this. I don't know everything, but just looking at her energy, she has a lot of placements that would reflect integrity from my perspective.
So you're saying that okay, even though she might know some deep shit, she's like, okay, what I believe I know, I have a moral code with it. You believe her morals are high because the Jupiter trines are there.
Right.
And her sun trine Saturn at the very close orb, and that just makes one very integrity based. And then with it's Libra, so that's just how I was looking at it, just in the sense of like, okay, these are people who are gonna make decisions, and like, what would they do? And I see the Mercury in Scorpio.
I would prefer.
Yeah, go ahead.
I would prefer one planet in Scorpio versus a president with a stallion in Scorpio. Yeah. Okay? That's different.
Right.
We're gonna talk about that though. We're gonna talk about that.
Yeah. Right.
All right. Going to the next candidate. Y'all ready?